we decided to record a video to answer the questions that we got. Thank you for sending in the questions, first of all.
Yeah.
We're gonna, I guess, read the questions and answer them while we're propagating some plants. But yeah, I'm Shadi. I am a 25-year-old queer cis woman that is currently still studying, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because I wish it was done, but well, here we are. Currently living in the Netherlands for like, how long have we been here? 7 years, I think now. It's been a while.
Yeah, what year did you arrive?
I arrived at, oh my god, don't ask me that, I don't remember.
Oh shit, okay, that's the only thing I do remember.
But you know how big memories. I think it was 2013. Yeah, 2013.
Okay. Cool. Oh, my turn. Okay, I'm Nagila. I'm 28 now. I've been here since 2010, so that's 10 years. Okay, anyway. I finished my studies in 2016. I only got my first real job last year, and that was in medical information. It's a 9-to-5 office job, and to be honest, I really like the rhythm. Before that, I worked just restaurant jobs. I worked with old people and love old people. And I guess that's enough about me. I mean, we're both from Aruba.
Yeah.
Already know that. We both have siblings. We both came here straight after high school. The usual.
Yeah, basically. Alright, let's get into the questions.
What has 2020 taught you?
Well, the people and the jobs, the professions we thought were important aren't really. While the ones that we dismiss a lot, the ones that we don't pay attention to, they're the ones literally keeping society running. And I feel like those people have to get their dues, like, you know, grocery store workers, cleaners, help me out here, my brain just short-circuited.
People who clean the streets.
Yeah, like, you know, I think we should start giving them their due, because they are essential workers in more ways than one. And I think now more than ever we do need to stick with each other, or stick up for each other and help each other out, because it's what these times ask for. And I think that is one thing, especially these last few weeks, has taught me. So yeah, it's time for a change, I think. So that's about it.
I mean, that's a good one, actually. That's pretty much the same thing that I would say. Maybe... yeah. I guess it taught me how to be okay with being derailed, I guess.
Yeah. Adaptability is, I think, what like we are being taught most of all throughout this. So yeah. Some of us, yeah, we don't have a choice right now. It's just you gotta do it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, I feel like we answered that properly. What's your guilty pleasure?
I have many.
Oh.
Hey, you go first. I can't think of any right now.
Well, my guilty pleasure is a Dutch TV show. It's about dating, and it's blind dating, so people can sign up, and then I guess they have to answer a few questions. I don't know in what format, and then they get matched by the people from the show.
Yeah.
And they're on a blind date, and sometimes it goes incredibly well, sometimes it's just super awkward. But I just like observing people and human behavior and how they behave in awkward situations.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't have I guess a weird guilty pleasure in that sense. I watch, I don't know, anime and all of that.
Oh, that's something to be proud of.
Exactly, like it's not a guilty, like I can't think of any like guilty pleasures.
Oh, we watched Too Hot to Handle.
Oh, we did.
Oh, okay, that doesn't sound like you really enjoyed it. I did, because it was like watching that type of person.
Yeah, I guess you could say that was the guilty pleasure of my watching that show on Netflix. That was
we literally created a new account
to watch it because we didn't want to pollute our listen, It's only so much I can handle, and that was a
think
lot. So maybe that, I guess that, like watching those type of reality shows, but I really fucking hate this, but I can't stop watching it. So
Yeah.
I think it's that mostly.
Okay.
All right.
Next one.
What is your combined favorite color? We're really into like greenish,
Yeah.
greenish
Plants.
blue for like and yellows,
Mm.
and also our upcoming album cover.
my God.
I'm so excited.
So excited.
All right, but
It's gonna
yeah,
be great,
so definitely I think a combination of those. But that's a combined favorite color, I guess. Where did the name Combined Impact come from? Well,
The whole process.
I'm not gonna lie, I fucking hated anyways, I hated coming up with the name itself for our podcast because we were really stressing. We did not have a clue. Like weeks went by when we were just like, you know what, let's just spark this in the background because we don't want to deal with this.
We had the first meeting, and then we were like, okay, so this week we're gonna think of a name.
Yeah.
And then every single week after that, we're like, I haven't come up with anything. I don't know how to come up with a name.
Like, we
could
were
you pass
so-
me, like the two little ones.
I was so like, no, I'm kind of bad at coming up with names in general. And one day we decided we're just gonna like sit down and write down a bunch of words that we thought fit with us really well. Like, you know, we're women, we're immigrants, we're
We care about equality or equity.
yeah, I got a few down here. Yeah,
All
we
right.
like we feminism. Like, we're not
Yeah.
ashamed of like our strong beliefs and the things we believe in, basically.
And we both really like to focus on perception or like
Yeah.
different perspectives.
Different perspectives,
perception.
yeah. And we love to learn. We love to learn from other people, and I think like we just have very strong opinions when it comes to politics, all of that. And we just like wrote all of those names down, and we just started trying combinations, trying different meanings for different words.
Yeah,
Like, we would take
synonyms.
synonyms, yeah, and we just like kept at it. And then I think it was intersectionality that was the key word that we looked for like synonyms for, and that's where Combined Impact came in.
Yeah.
And like we wrote it down with two other contenders, which Combined Impact wasn't the first choice, first of all. So
Yeah.
that was very interesting. And like we went with this other one, and I was like, this is cool, but it sounded a little bit too
Too basic.
yeah. And then we were like, but what about Combined Impact? That sounds hella cool. And then
Yeah.
like, you know what, actually, fuck yeah. And then the more we started like using it, it was like, oh my god, this is
Referring
perfect.
to things.
Yeah.
And also part of it was that we wanted the name to be available on the platforms, and Combined Impact was actually available on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Gmail.
Yeah, it was
and
all
just
this-
without underscores or tricky ways of writing
No,
it.
it was just all available. And we're like, this is fucking meant to be. We have to. So yeah, it was basically how Combined Impact was created.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of that name. I really love it. What was the factor that made you think, you know what, let's do this?
For me, like, we've been talking about a podcast for months, like months. Really.
I wanna say like years, not years, but
We sort of mentioned the idea, but never really gave attention to it. And then we talked about it sometimes, like, oh, you know, it would be great, a podcast, like,
Yeah.
and then we can like record this type of thing. But we never actually really thought about it until, I would say, before the Corona thing. Yeah, we just decided, you know, oh, when you moved here,
when I moved,
when you officially moved here to
yeah,
Rotterdam.
to Rotterdam, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's when we really started talking seriously about it. Because before that, it was just like, you know what, it would be cool to, because we always have such like fun conversations and very like in-depth conversations that we're like, I wonder how many people think like us or see things like us. Maybe they have a completely different way of seeing these certain topics like we do. And it was just interesting to think about. But we were like very, like, I guess, shy to the idea of people listening to us and our ideas.
For me, the biggest issue was people seeing me. I
Yeah.
didn't want people to see me.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was it's a very interesting and sometimes maybe scary process, I think, to put yourself out there. So, but then we were like, you know what? Why the fuck not? Because it's such an interesting thing to be able to do, to share your thoughts, your ideas, and a lot of the things we want to talk about on the podcast is very much things we feel like should be talked about more, should be brought to people's attention, because a lot of the times it's things that most people you know about, or you have it in the back of your head, or we just like shove it under the rug, but nobody really wants to talk about it or really wants to admit certain things, you know. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring that to the front. So I think that's kind of what gave us the push, to be like,
because
you know,
we were also going to more events that we would talk to people about this type of thing. And then I don't know, I guess the events also helped. Like, wow, people are creating, collaborating, doing all this stuff, and I really want to do something as well.
Yeah, it gave me the like encouragement I needed to be like, you know, why not me too? Like, why can't we do it too? So yeah, that kind of pushed us to actually make it reality.
The next one.
Oh my god. Are you into anime? And so, if so, haven't you watched One Piece yet? Listen, Amber, let me tell you something. I will go, like, you know how petty I am. I will refuse to watch One Piece. Especially after that freaking... Nah, you know what? No. I'm, well, so I am into anime. And I don't have an opinion on One Piece because I haven't watched it yet. I probably won't. So... there's that. What is your recommended? She's gonna kill me.
Your recommended way to cut a sandwich. I have so many thoughts about this. I have a very specific way of eating a sandwich, which is like from the butt up. Like the slices have to be in the way that they've been like taken out of the bag, and then they also, because they have to fit exactly on top of each other, and then the bottom part is always my least favorite part, so I have to eat that first. And the top part is the nicest because that's where you have the seeds and stuff. So to me, the best way is to cut it into squares, so you can have all of the not nice bits at the bottom, so you eat that one first, and then you're left with the beautiful, delicious part.
I don't care. Like, I will literally just cut it in whichever way I decide I want to cut it that day. Which is usually just right down the middle. I don't.
What impacts do you hope to achieve?
So that's a very loaded question, because it's hard to know how your work will be received, I guess, and sometimes it might not be received the way you intend it to be. But I think one of the impacts I would wish to make with the podcast is just to make certain topics less taboo, more so people can feel like, hey, I can talk about this more, or certain topics that you wish were talked about more, especially me coming from my background, which is very heavily traditional, and me being a queer woman, it had heavily affected my life. And for the first part, like the most part of my life, I didn't even think to talk about it, because you know, you don't talk about those certain things, or you know, there are many different like examples I can use with that, but that's the most prominent for me. And I just want certain things to be less taboo and more able to talk about, so we can have conversations with each other, so we can teach each other and help each other like grow in that way, I guess. Yeah,
I would say that for me it's like basically the same. Just talk about the topics more, but the reasoning behind it is a bit different, because I was raised by a psychologist, spiritual psychologist, so she really talked about this stuff all the time, and to me it was just normal conversational things. And I've been lucky enough that all of the friends that I've had in my life have also been open-minded enough to talk about that. And then after university, that I was like into the real world. Are you looking for your... It's on your arm.
Alright.
Okay.
That is...
yeah, in the real world, I was trying to talk about this stuff as well, and then people would maybe entertain me for a bit, but not that they would be into the topic. And I was like, whoa, okay, so people don't like to talk about this stuff. I thought that it's, you know, a normal thing to talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess just opening up the conversation, because it's stuff that people do think and feel and experience, but I don't know why we don't talk about it all the time.
A lot of reasons, but I think that's something to dissect in our episodes and talk about, and just make things more accessible.
Yeah, but I mean, we also came up with the topics really easily. Like in one day, we just made a whole long ass list.
Yeah, we have a long ass list, so
every day since we've come up with more and more and more topics.
So we won't run out of topics anytime soon. Yeah. But yeah, that was about it for.
Those are questions we received. Thanks for the people who submitted the questions.
Hope you guys got to know us a little bit better too.
And the music that you'll be hearing in the background will be the description and stuff.
Yes, we'll link the artist below. Thank you so much for letting us use it, by the way. It's it's great. But yeah, so hopefully this answers a few of your questions, and we might do this again in the future maybe, but mostly
maybe.
Alright.
Bye.